Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we are getting ready to pour the floor in the basement. The house is going to be here Wednesday. It is Monday. We're getting the plastic all laid out. We got the grade stakes down there. Getting everything ready. First concrete truck is loading right now. So this is exciting. Gonna get the floor put in here. Got some lines snapped all the way around the outside. I'm excited. Got all the backfill done. First layer insulation's in. We are ready to go. So the house is actually going to come tomorrow. They're going to deliver it. They're going to bring it in the field over there somewhere. They're going to park it and unhook it off the trucks. And then Wednesday, the crane's going to come, 115-ton crane. And he's going to set up here. And I'm going to take tractor or dozer and bring the houses up next to him. And then he'll set it on the foundation. So let's get this floor poured though and out of the way, and then we'll work on sill plates also. All the plastic's done and we are ready to go. So it'll be 2 trucks coming. It'll be a 20-yard pour. That's what it'll take to give us a 4-inch floor down here. First truck's here. going to carry the power trowel around with the 220 and get it set down in there. Micro Richard won't reach to set it in there, so that's why we gotta use the 220. Well, it's time to power trowel it. It's set up just enough. Down there on that end anyways. My Uncle Jamie's gonna get it nice and smoothed out. Dustin's gonna go down there and do some troweling by hand. Well, it's starting to get a little bit dark. So George is gonna get the light tower moved around. He's gonna set it over here so we can shine it down in here. So my Uncle Jamie has plenty of light to finish power troweling this. It's looking really good. George and I are working on these sill plates. We're gonna have to finish these up in the morning. We ain't gonna get these all done tonight. So we're gonna work and go around the corner a little bit, and then we're gonna stop because we gotta run home and get the 9300 ready to pull the houses into place, or house halves into place. We actually just have to have it in case they can't get them this far back tomorrow. They're worried they might get a little hung up in the sand, so we're gonna have the tractor here in case that happens. But we won't actually really need it until the day that they're gonna set it, because I actually have to pull them up beside the crane. Things are looking good. These sill plates look nice. We got started over there, we've worked our way around, and we're up to this corner now. Well, it's a beautiful morning this morning, and I got the 9300 here last night. Got it ready to pull the house if necessary. So I'm gonna get it over there by them piles of dirt, so it's a little bit closer to the driveway in case we need it. And then the house should be here in about an hour. And then if everything goes good with that, George and I will jump back on getting the sill plates finished up. So we are part way around the house, so we don't have really too much to go. So we were up till about 2 o'clock last night finishing out the floor in the basement because it just was slow curing. It just must have been from the cool temperatures we were having, but it turned out real nice. We'll walk over there and get a video of that. It's actually pretty warm this morning. I dressed up pretty heavy this morning thinking it was going to be frosty like it has been, and it's probably 65 degrees already, so it's pretty warm. There's the basement floor though, all done, ready for a house to sit on it. It's just kind of a bummer that it's going to have a row of jack posts down the center. You know, it's cool right now that it's a big wide open space, and Jamie and I were joking last night that it would be a nice swimming pool. It'd hold about 93,000 gallons of water that we roughly figured up. Now, take out the wall thickness and well, you could add it back in because of the Bilco area. That'll hold some water. So yeah, roughly 93,000 gallons of water would fill this up. We were talking about it. If we put a tanker full at a time in with our tanker, it would be about an inch of water every full load in the bottom of this. So it'd take an inch of water at a time to fill this up with our tanker. So that is a lot of loads with the tanker. So kind of cool when you start putting math to things and just kind of thinking things out. But looks real nice. I'm happy with it. I can't wait to get moved in and get some trains down here, some bench work for layouts. I've got a layout that my dad built me back when we lived in our old house. And I really didn't do nothing with it when we moved to the new place because by that time I had my driver's license and stuff and, you know, got into other things. But now that I'm older, that stuff's coming back around and I'm ready to get back into it. amongst other things. I mean, I've got a ton of stuff going on. So now I got the big shop, I can do a lot of things in there, or my own shop, I should say. So the trains will be a winter thing. So anyways, let's get the 9300 moved over there. That way it's ready. And got a beautiful sunrise this morning. So we'll get that over there and get set up for the houses to come. Nothing like driving an articulated tractor through your backyard. Leave it right here for now. Well, while we wait for the house to get here and George to get here, I want to continue on around with the sill plate. So what I'm doing is I'm actually putting a layer of tar paper down on top of the wall. That'll seal more moisture from the concrete getting through to the sill plate. And also, they say that the tar paper tastes bitter to any bugs that might want to chew into that sill plate. So it's kind of another defense from like termites and stuff like that. So it doesn't take nothing to do this. A roll of tar paper is only 23 bucks. And all I did was I marked 8 inches out. And I took my evolution saw and just cut down through here with an abrasive wheel. The cut's not perfect, but it's fine. No big deal there. So all we've been doing is we just get it about where we want it on the wall. These straps are nice and sharp. So you just kind of work it down over them. And if you have to, just slice it a little bit with the strap until you get it where you want it. The wind kind of got my roll of the foam sill sealer last night. Kind of rolled it out. Oh, here comes George. You can kind of move it around if you have to. And we'll just get our foam sill sealer on there. Just like so. I'm going to go to the shop and grab some tools and get everything we need to get a sill plate ready. We got to drill holes. We're drilling 1.125" holes, and we're actually dropping the sill plate down over our straps, and then we'll fold them each way and we'll screw them and it'll be ready to set a house on. All right, so we're just going to mark where each strap is. And then we'll measure over. We'll drill our hole with a spade bit. And just drop them over. Alright, simple as that. Well, it's starting to get kind of windy this morning. That sun's coming up, so We're gonna hurry and do this before we can't get a video because of the wind. So 1/8" spade bit. Okay. There we go. Fits nice and tight. We can always trim off anything that hangs over when we're all finished up. Flush with the wall. Looks really good. Now we can go through and screw all these straps. So these straps are pretty simple. Spread them out. And then what I like to do is run a screw at an angle so it pulls that strap like that. It bends it over tight in that hole, just like so. And then run these at a different angle. Oop. Just like that. And we don't really need to fill all the holes. And on these, we'll run different screws in, because I got 2 of each screws. The first screws we tried here wouldn't go deep enough in the straps. The heads were way up and I didn't like it. So we ended up going with, they're still a deck screw, but they're more like a drywall screw. Just come back in and run these in the sides. There we go. George is going to get the next one going. Oops. Camera fell off the stick I put. Oh, I'm out of yellow screws, George. I need 3 more. Thank you. Oh, that one's got paint in the head of it. I like these because they're T25 Torx. And if you hold the bit straight, like I didn't get quite right, if you hold it straight, they never slip. Unless they have epoxy in their heads like that. Alright, so I was going to drill and put bolts in, but we put extra straps in, so I don't think the bolts are necessary. Plus, you got to remember, on each side of the house, it's going to have the porch cap. So the porch cap's going to kind of lock the house from sliding either direction. So we're not really too worried about it. And if there was a catastrophic failure that caused this house to move, it's probably going to be junk anyway. So why bolt it to the foundation if whatever's going to move it's going to be that big anyways? You know, probably a tornado or something. But it's not like we have hurricane winds all the time here in Indiana. So I think the straps will be sufficient after putting them in this way and screwing them down. Plus, each half of the house weighs 28,000 pounds, so there's going to be just the raw friction of the wood on the top of the concrete. So it'd take a lot to move this house. I'm also going to go ahead and put some longer screws in here just to draw this corner together. Just like that. Oops. Kind of lock that together. It's probably not necessary, but feel a little better about it. Well, the house is on its way. Ryan and Chris from LaPorte Housing are out here this morning, and Chris just told me that it's on its way, and they went to go lead it in. So I'm gonna go catch it down here at the intersection and get some video when they come around the intersection with it. Sounds like they're gonna pull it right into place, so I might not have to move it at all with the tractor, but at least the tractor's here in case something happens. Well, here comes our new home. It's coming. First half. There's the front half. Parked in the field so I could get drove down there. Good thing I picked this corn off. I like this truck too. That is the back half of the house. So they're going to actually go ahead and pull it right into place to where the crane can grab it. And here comes the front half. we got all the sill plates on, the house is there, it's staged, it's ready to lift with the crane and put on the foundation. So Dad wanted the black Kenworth hooked back up to a hopper bottom. We've had it hooked to the tanker to have fresh water over there at the property for washing concrete tools and stuff like that. So we drained the rest of the tanker out, ran back to the shop, hooked the other hopper bottom up, checked the air in the tires, checked the doors on the trailer, made sure everything was in tip-top shape, and we brought it down here to Francisville where Dad was cutting beans. Well, Dad was at the elevator because he had the other trailer full, so he ran it in. I told George, I said, I'm gonna get in the combine and cut some beans for a little bit while Dad's gone. So feels good to get in the combine for a while. Really haven't been in the combine much other than a little this last weekend. I came down to help Dad change a hydraulic hose and I rode with him for a little bit. Other than that, all I've done is pick a little bit of corn there at the property to get the houses in, or house halves in. So I'm running a 2388 for a little bit. Got some 40 bushel beans right here. This is some sandier ground. But there was one spot in the field over that way that went through a lower depression in the field. And actually, the monitor hit 70 for a little bit. But a lot of the beans just haven't been doing very good this year. It just got so hot and dry that it just baked everything there for a while. See, these beans are real short right here. So I figured I'd get a little bit of video of cutting some beans, since I haven't had any in the long form video. The John Deere 9650 is actually tore apart in my new shop right now. The engine fan hub, the bearings went out of it and ate the shaft up. So I'm waiting on the whole new cast piece that bolts to the front of the engine that the fan spins on. So that'll be here tomorrow, so I'll get that put back together. I'd like to cut some beans with that yet this fall. But Dad's been doing such a good job that I don't know if there's going to be many left to cut with the John Deere. He's knocked a lot of them out with the 2388. So a lot of you have asked who's been doing the farming while George and I have been tied up with the house. Well, Scooter and Dad have been doing a lot of the farming. So Dad's been keeping that side moving. Farming, digging a sand trap, and building a house all at the same time. Keeps us on our toes, keeps us busy. I'm gonna finish cutting these ends off right here. Well, when I get back to the end of the field, I'm gonna give Dad his combine back. George and I are gonna go back to my shop, and we do have some filters we can change in the cab of the combine. If you remember from last year, I talked about how when it would go from day to night, my windshield would just turn to solid moisture. It'd be so bad I'd have to use a squeegee to squeegee it off. Well, I discovered that the filter for the blower that pressurizes the cabin of the combine, that filter was left out. There's a duct from outside to inside of the cab for that cabin pressurizer air blower that was plugged solid with all kinds of bean dust and other crap. So it was an airflow issue is what's going on. So Marshall, my sister's fiance, he's going to get me some coil cleaner to clean the AC coil really well in the heater core, and I'm going to put it back together with all new filters, everything cleaned out. We're going to start out fresh and see what it does. Plus, I also found some tubes plugged that have sensors in them for the climate control system of the combine cab. So with those being cleaned out, them sensors should sense airflow and be able to do their job, airflow and temperature, however they work. So hopefully I found the problem with that combine and that issue is fixed. And of course you got your mouse turds and stuff in there also. I got to sweep all that out. Darn mice get in these combine cabs. We've tried absolutely everything to keep them out, but they still get in here. So anyways, we're going to start a whole new fresh video for setting the house. So we're actually going to do that tomorrow. Sounds like we're good to go on weather. So that is the plan for tomorrow. So we'll be making a video on that. So I think I'm going to end this one right here because we're going to head back to the shop and work on that combine. I should have done a video on it, but I didn't. I apologize for that. But maybe eventually I'll show you what I did if it fixes the problem. So if you guys out there that have John Deere combines have the same issue, I can help you solve it if it fixes it on mine. So a little trial and error, but it's got to help. It can't be right the way it is. So anyways, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one.